I went from a complete time waster, a lazy little drug addicted, video game addicted, comfort addict to now having been sober, completely realigned to my purpose, having that clarity and that inner primal fire back again. And in this video, I'm not going to waste any of your time. I'm going to share with you the 3 things that I wish I knew about testosterone 4 years ago when I was 19, freshly graduated out of high school and ready to take on the world. So the first 3 things we're going to talk about in order. Number 1 is testosterone will absolutely fix 90% of your problems, whether that is mental health, whether that is clarity, whether that is motivation to do anything. It will absolutely fix all of those. Number 2, testosterone will absolutely make dating super easy. You will find it so easy and you will actually find it so fun to go out on dates with women. No more anxiety, no more overthinking, nothing like that. Just pure action and being in the present moment. Number 3, testosterone makes it hard to be lazy. It absolutely makes it hard to be lazy. It makes it so easy for you to be motivated and for you to do the right things. So let's jump straight into it. Number 1, again, testosterone will fix 90% of your problems. Let me start with a quick story, and if you're not interested, you can skip ahead like 3 minutes or 4 minutes into the future. But when I had freshly graduated out of high school, I had no idea what I was going to do in life. And so I did what everybody else would do, and that is sign up to university. And it wasn't until about 4 or 5 months later, I realized that university was not for me. It was not for me. I was in for a mechanical engineering astrophysics degree, and I hated every single second of it because I never saw myself being the type of guy in an office working from 9 to 5 in fluorescent lights at all. After that, what happened was I quit university and I went on to work for a normal job in my family business. And I started hating that as well. And what happened was I didn't know what to do or where to go about my life. And what happened 20, 21, 22, I became completely lost. I got introduced to marijuana. I was drinking alcohol at the time. I was smoking weed. I would smoke literally a gram of weed every single day. And if you know anything about smoking weed, you know that a gram of weed a day is absolutely fucking diabolical. And nobody should ever go through that. After that, obviously with smoking weed, I was also habit stacking with playing video games. And it got so bad to the point where I would wake up early just so I could optimize more hours in the day that I could spend playing video games and being high. Obviously, that wasn't enough. I also had to watch pornography every day and masturbate every day. I had to stay indoors every day, and I would just make excuses. Now, over time, what happened was my mentality, my biochemistry, my fucking hormones absolutely plummeted. What happened was I became an excuse maker. I became the shell of a man that I was supposed to be, that I was. I literally could not find any motivation in the day to do anything. So it was so easy for me to be comfortable and lazy. I remember a particular moment in time where I woke up in the morning and I smoked all my weed and I was playing games. And I became so agitated that even though I told myself that I was not going to purchase any more weed with the last amount of money that I literally had $100 for that week. And it wasn't until like 5 days later that I was going to get paid again. Yeah, I used that $100 and I ordered weed and I smoked all of it. Remember how I said I wasn't getting paid for another 5 days? I smoked all of it within 4 days. So the last day I had to be sober and I hated my life afterwards. You know what happens when you smoke weed? You get a temporary high. But as soon as that high is finished, your dopamine, that high drops below baseline level. And what follows is depression. What follows is mental health issues. What follows is suicidal thoughts. So I wish somebody told me this when I was 19, that testosterone will absolutely fix 90% of your problems, one of them being depression, mental health issues, and addiction. All I had to do was max out my testosterone and start feeling like a man again. And that feeling You know what that created? A primal inner fire. A fire in the belly. And that's a book name, by the way. That fire in the belly makes it so easy to wake up in the morning, first thing, and instead of going and doing stupid shit like smoking weed, jacking off, or playing video games, it makes it so easy to go and do the top 3 most important things of your life. And the top 3 most important things in my life right now: business, health, relationships. Simple. Testosterone will absolutely fix all of that. I had so much suicidal thoughts. I went through so many mental health issues. My life was like a stock market. It would go up and it would go down. And then it would go up again and then it would go down again. I would lock in for 3 to 5 months. Not even. I would lock in for 2 months. Not even. I'm fucking with you. I would literally lock in for 3 days. 3 days I would lock in to only find myself back in a rut again. And that rut, it wouldn't last a week. It would last months. Literally months. I would go on gaming sprees. I would spend so much money on buying stupid games and playing them from morning till nighttime. And literally that all stopped within the past few weeks because I did 2 things. I started living like a normal human being again, and I maxed out my testosterone. And I've still got so much to go for. I'm going to give you 2 pieces of advice that will help you with this. Number 1, if you want, write this down. Number 1, supplementation. I supplemented on ashwagandha, magnesium, and tonkat ali, and zinc as well. But zinc I mostly get from meat. And if you know anything about those 3 supplements, magnesium, ashwagandha, tonkat ali, they not only reduce your stress, make you a much calmer person, but they also increase testosterone, whether directly or indirectly. And so what happened was I became so much calmer. Now, my stressful little head didn't need weed to calm myself down. I didn't need to play games and sedate myself with video games to calm my nervous system down. And increased my testosterone to the point where every time I jumped on games, every time I smoked weed and wasted time, I would just catch myself within 2 to 3 minutes thinking, like, Thailand, what the fuck are you doing? Are you literally like wasting your time again? Like, what the fuck? And so I would quit and I would get back to business. I would get back to work. That's one thing that I wish somebody told me. Testosterone will absolutely fix 90% of your life. The second advice I'm going to give you quickly is living like a normal human being. What that means is the first thing you're going to do when you wake up in the morning is get sunlight. That is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. And I still do this every single morning. Literally, no joke. Like, remember how I told you in the past I would wake up and smoke weed first thing and then I would jump on my PC? It felt so comfortable. It felt so amazing back then because I would play like some meditation music, some calm binaural beats and stuff. And I had my lights all set up in a moody way, like red lights and warm yellow lights. And obviously I had my own room and I was furthest away from my family as well. I'd open my window, light some incense, wholesome. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do some yoga, right? No. I'm going to roll a joint. I'm going to fill up my bong. I'm going to smoke like 3-5 cones. And then I'm just going to play video games until breakfast time. That's how bad it went. So I completely changed that by living like a normal human being again. What that means is getting sunlight first thing in the morning. If there's anything you're going to take from this video, let it be that. Sunlight is absolutely crucial. Number 2, testosterone makes dating super easy. I was one of the guys growing up in high school. I had acne issues. I had terrible acne to the point where my face were like the surface of fucking moon. Craters and everything everywhere, like little mountains and bumps. My face was like that to the point it ruined my confidence. But the funny thing was, growing up in high school, I knew women were into me because I heard, through the grapevine that she likes me and she likes me, whatever. Look, it wasn't all that. Maybe 2 or 3 girls liked me, okay? So, like, cool. I knew people were into me, but I couldn't do anything about it because my self-confidence was absolutely fucking ruined because of acne. But you know what happened? After I graduated, I fixed my acne. I got on Accutane, I fixed it all, and I looked better. But I was still the same person. I was still the same anxious person. Even funny, during this time, I had a girlfriend. It was my first girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, and I was the shell of a man that I was supposed to be. Even in a loving relationship, in a relationship you build up, you're supposed to have trust and you're supposed to communicate and all. I was still anxious and I was depressed and I had mental health issues. I had attachment issues. I was distant one day and I was super attached the other day. I was distant the next, super attached the next. I had highs and lows. I would give her amazing attention and then I would not give her any attention. But all this to say, my mind was in absolute chaos. Whenever I was with my girlfriend, I was thinking about something else. My mind was preoccupied with this, that, or the other. And I was never in the present moment. And high testosterone absolutely gets rid of that and makes dating a breeze. And you know what? It makes dating fun. It makes dating fulfilling. Because you know why? Your self-belief increases because you start to feel like a man again. You start to feel like a true man. Again, that primal fire within you sparks. So you no longer stand for bullshit. You know what your priorities are. You know what you want out of life. And because you know what you want out of life and you've got that primal energy back again, your woman feels that too, and you feel that too. And when you hang out with your woman, you can feel like a man. And so you lead her through interactions. You give her love, you take her to places, you make her feel awesome. And you do all of this while being completely present in the moment. Because as a man with high testosterone, it means you have high clarity. So you're not overthinking about bullshit in the present moment. You're not thinking about what you should do next. You're not thinking about the fact that you just played video games all day. Can you imagine this? I want to tell you this quick story. Can you imagine this? I had a girlfriend and I was still masturbating to pornography. I had a girlfriend and I was still smoking weed. I had a girlfriend, literally a girlfriend that I could have sex with any single time that I wanted because she was in love with me and so was I. And instead of having sex with her, I would play video games. I wish somebody told me. I wish my father would come into my room and just slap me across the face and just be like, Tyler, you motherfucker. You're like all that shit. Anyway, I wish somebody told me that. High testosterone absolutely makes dating a breeze and it makes it fun. Because you know why? Dating is hard. Dating is a goal. When you're meeting a woman, you want to get into a relationship with her. It's a goal. And testosterone makes chasing and achieving goals fun. Even though they're hard, even though it's the hard thing to do, it makes it fun. Let me tell you another story. This YouTube video that's about to pop off will be the first video that I posted within the last 3 months. And you can go back onto my old videos and you can check the kind of person that I was. And I guarantee you can tell with utmost certainty in which videos that I was high, which videos I felt like I didn't believe in myself, like I felt anxious, I wasn't confident in myself. And you can tell each of those videos when I didn't feel like a man. And if you can tell, trust me, your woman is going to be able to tell. So number 3, again, number 2, testosterone makes dating fucking easy and it makes it fun. Number 3, testosterone makes it hard to be lazy. Let's go back to the start when I told you about that primal inner fire. When you wake up in the mornings, you kind of roll out of bed, your alarm's there, but you snooze it, and I'm not talking about the days where you're absolutely tired or sleep deprived or, last night you were working, let's say if you're in a normal job, you're working a 13, 14 hour shift and you're completely fucked, right? That's beyond the point. What I'm talking about is you got your sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, you have literally zero motivation to do anything that you press the snooze button. God forbid you press the snooze button, because I didn't do that. That wasn't enough for me. I wouldn't press the snooze button. You know what I would do? I would wake up and smoke weed. Testosterone makes it so hard to be lazy, and it makes it so much easier to do hard work. Because testosterone makes you feel like a man. And I'm gonna keep repeating that every single time, every single video that I possibly can, because I'm so grateful right now that I feel like an absolute fucking man. No, it's not about the muscle size, absolutely. It is about all up here, how you feel up here in your brain, in your mind. So waking up in the morning, my mornings look like this. I wake up and immediately I get outside and I get sunlight into my eyes for like 2-3 minutes. That sunlight wakes me up. From there, I go to the toilet. Obviously, I take a shit, right? I wash my face, brush my teeth and all. And then straight after, I go make myself a cup of coffee. I don't believe in that, don't drink caffeine in the mornings, yada, yada. I don't believe in all that bullshit. Personally, I believe caffeine doesn't affect me, so it doesn't, okay? Simple as that. After making my coffee, I go grab my laptop, I go to my balcony, and I get the fuck to work. I start scripting. I start going over my YouTube videos. I start working on my product, my business, whatever it is, I get the fuck to work. Let me give you one piece of advice. If you're still building your life up and you're, on self-improvement, whatever, you're trying to fix your life, always remind yourself why. Why are you doing this? And I still do this to this day. Before I start to do any work, I sit down, I close my eyes, and I think about the end goal, the vision. Why am I even sitting down? Why am I recording this video for you right now? It's because it's for a specific end goal. I want to get to XYZ place. I want to live in Bali. I want to live a life that's aligned to how our primal ancestors lived. Do you think our primal ancestors woke up and jacked off? Do you think our primal ancestors woke up and they smoked weed or played video games? Not that they existed, but do you think they wasted time? No, our primal ancestors got up from bed and they got into nature. They got into nature. They went on a run. They saw the sunlight. They stood outside and felt the breeze on their face. They breathed in the oxygen that is abundant in the air. And that was easy for them because there weren't no seed oils. There weren't no distractions, no video games, no bullshit to distract them from anything. You can argue it's the only thing that they had the choice to do. And I wish that was the case for us today. I wish the only thing that we could do straight out of bed is get sunlight and get out into nature. I wish that was the case because that would absolutely solve 99% of all your problems. Nature. Translate nature to God. Every time you get into nature, you get closer to God. And when you're closer to God, call it the universe, call it nature, call it whatever. Every time you get closer to God, you become aligned with God. You become aligned with the universe. You become aligned with who you're truly supposed to be. You start to feel happy. You start to feel clear. Everything starts lining up for you like dominoes, like stacking on top of each other. You start to stack your wins. You start to get realizations. And all of this happens if you get closer to God. And to get close to God, if you don't believe in religion, if you don't believe in God, get into nature. Because nature is the creation of God. And anytime you get to nature, you become calmer. You become stronger in the brain. You become aligned with everything. That's another thing. Testosterone makes it hard to be lazy. That was a different point. But here are a few ways that you can increase testosterone. This is exactly what I did. Number one, wake up in the morning and get sunlight first thing. Number two, I stacked Tonkat Ali, ashwagandha, and magnesium. Those are the few other things I did. Number three, found my purpose. I started working. I started chasing hard goals, going to the gym, lifting. I have 2 kettlebells, each 20 kilos each, which I use to do exercises at home as well. And another thing, eat clean. What do I mean by eat clean? Everyone says eat clean, right? Eat a primal diet. A primal diet involves meat. It involves water. It involves, fruits and vegetables and honey. That is a primal diet. Now, on the contrary, to make it even easier for you, just stop eating shit. Stop eating processed foods like chips, like crumbed schnitzel, or crumbed meats, or deep fried food. Stop all of that. Pasta, out. Bread, garbage. Oats, oh my God, I used to wake up and eat oats as a gym meal. Get rid of oats completely from your diet. Sugary drinks, I do not ever want you to drink anything that's fluid and tastes sweet, unless it comes from a fruit. Fruit juices are totally fine. That's another thing. If anyone tells you, oh, don't drink fruit juice because it has sugar, they are absolutely lying to you. They have no idea what you're talking about. Tell me one person that's gotten fat from fruits. Show me one person that has gained weight from drinking fruit juice. And I'm talking about like real fruit juice. I'm not talking about any of that like reconstituted, added sugar bullshit with preservatives. I'm talking about pure fruit juice. Yeah, I'll be waiting, exactly. So that's the end of the video. Again, I'll go over the 3 things. Number 1, testosterone will absolutely solve 99% of your problems. Number 2, testosterone makes dating fucking easy and fun. Number 3, testosterone makes it hard to be lazy. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you another time.